Welcome to Curiousaholic Reacts. My name is Haiko, and I'm joined here with my good buddy Evan.
Sup, Earthlings?
So, in our reaction type videos, one of us or both of us choose an interesting or funny piece of content that we want to react to live during the episode and give our thoughts and commentaries about it and see, what we think about these interesting stuff. So today, Evan, what did we decide to react to?
So today we're going to be reacting to Bill 96, which was just adopted here in Quebec. We already have Bill 101 that was, adopted quite a while ago now.
And maybe to give a little bit of context, what is this bill or what are we talking about? So it's like this new legislation, particularly, in Quebec, that affects, the language that people need to speak and use. This is related to the French language since Quebec, is primarily French, but it is also bilingual, A lot of people also speak English and French and also other languages, really, We're very multilingual in this province. But Quebec does, want to protect its French language at all costs. And we're just going to give our thoughts about this bill and see, how does it affect people? What do people think about this? And, what the future is.
And just a disclosure, like both of us speak French and we're not opposed to French at all. I guess both of us kind of share a similar stance, presumably. Right? I don't really know your full stance on this, but I presume that we kind of have a similar idea of how we feel about this. And, I think we're mostly opposed to some of the ideas the project is proposing and what the bill is going to be entails for a lot of people in Quebec. So, so just wanted to put that out there that we're not against French speaking or, I went to French school, so I have nothing against it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nous deux, on parle français, toujours, à chaque jour.
Québec.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are bilingual, well, trilingual, technically.
Trilingual,
what our native languages. So we're not against speaking multiple languages. It's just, we'll say, what we're, specifically against.
Le projet de loi numéro 96, loi sur la langue officielle et commune du Québec, le français, est adopté.
So a big celebration when it was
officially adopted at the National Assembly on Tuesday. This is Quebec's overhaul of its French language law that the Legault government says will improve protection.
Kind of funny, right? How she's reporting this?
Yeah, it looks like she's recording from like her phone camera.
She's like doing a selfie report.
Having, selfie and just,
I mean,
it's like she's not supposed to be recording where she is.
She's like, guys, so
like,
I'm just doing this here,
Yeah, exactly, the phone camera.
I'm speaking English as well, so they might catch me. I don't know. Maybe she's a one-person reporter.
English services, but critics say the bill will limit access to health care and justice, cost college teachers their jobs, and increase red tape for small businesses. Two opposition parties voted against the law. The Parti Québécois said the legislation doesn't go far enough in protecting the French language, while the Liberal Party denounced the bill's use of the notwithstanding clause. The majority
that's
ruling...
pretty typical, actually, right? Like the Liberal Party kind of going against these conservative,
Political
ideas and ideologies a little bit. And the Parti Québécois is like...
That's not good enough, even,
right.
I think,
Well, Parti Québécois is like a party that's kind of known to want to protect, traditional...
The Quebecer
just
culture.
The culture and traditions of Quebec. So they were for this, and they were saying that legislation is not participating enough in the protection of the French language. So
they wanted to go even further than that.
They wanted to go even further, and that's why they went to pass this law.
The French language, while the Liberal Party denounced the bill's use of the notwithstanding clause. The majority ruling CAQ and Quebec Solidaire voted in favor. The reform was initially deposed in April 2021. Advocates have said the law could prevent hundreds of thousands of English speakers from accessing health care in their language, as the bill requires government agents.
That's a hospital. It's like an Italian hospital in the East End of Montreal.
Yeah, which I imagine they speak mostly Italian or English.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So that's the thing. A lot of people are complaining that the healthcare that they will receive will only be done in French and not in their native or the English language that they're used to. So, which I find, it's tough on people. They already have a lot to deal with.
It's
and
hard.
Now
like, imagine you go to the doctor and like you only speak English and you're trying to explain that like whatever symptoms you have, but you can't because of the language barrier.
It's like, nope, speaking French only.
Like, it's weird,
Yeah.
care in their language, as the bill requires government agencies, including health services, to communicate with the public in French except where health, public safety, or the principles of natural justice so require. The bill would require all students at English CEGEPs to take 3 additional courses in French. Students with English education rights, those who have a parent or sibling who is educated in English in Canada, will be allowed to take courses on the French.
Yeah, so even schools obviously are going to be affected by this.
Yeah.
Especially the English-speaking schools.
Yeah, it's crazy because I have a younger brother that's right in the middle of this kind of, because he's in college. So who knows?
He has to deal with this. I mean, well, at least he got into college. And,
right, yeah. He's at the end of it, but still, you know, it's crazy. They might have to endure this.
They said that they need to take like extra courses in French.
Yeah, so
like
3 additional French courses.
Yeah.
For English colleges.
Colleges, yeah.
And what I did notice they said was some of like science classes might also have to be taught in French.
Oh, okay.
So like if you're in a science-based program, you're going to have to take some French classes, even though the majority of your program is going to be in English, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's just, it's more and more like forcing the language down the throats of people. Just, not like making it fun or promoting it for you to learn it. It's just, it's mandatory. Like you have to do it even if you don't want to, or even if it's not necessary, or, that's what I find.
And I'm going back to this. I think I've already said this before on this podcast. I think it was in our last episode that we talked about it. In my high school, they used to force us to speak French in the hallways. So I used to walk around with my friends in the hallways, and we used to speak primarily English. And they'd be like, "Hey, in French, like you're not allowed to speak English." It's crazy.
It's like, crazy. Yeah, super, it's like very.
It's like super offending when it happens, and you kind of feel like, wow.
Yeah, very authoritative and controlling of your own freedom to speak how you want to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's
that
crazy.
I find ridiculous. I always hated that too.
I hated that.
Yeah.
Those with 25 or more. There is also a provision granting language inspectors the power to engage in search and seizure operations without a warrant. It would also require all court filings by businesses to be in French or translated into French, and empower the Minister of Justice and the minister responsible for the French language to decide which provincial court judges need to be bilingual. It calls for amending pieces of legislation, including Quebec's Charter of French Language, the Code of Civil Procedure, the Consumer Protection Act, and Montreal's City Charter. The bill would proactively invoke the notwithstanding clause of the Canadian Constitution to protect it from the Charter challenges. In Montreal, Felicia Adam, City News.
Interesting. So a lot of other stuff are affected. I heard like they said business court filings need to be in French as well.
Yeah.
Like they need to be translated in French. So obviously this law goes into like workplaces and how people need to speak at a workplace, or how the documents and stuff like that need to be done. It's just, it just creates...
It even goes further than that. Like a lot of like restaurants and stuff, they have their names like in whatever language they choose, right? Let's say you have a Lebanese restaurant.
What, do they need to change that
and
too?
You never heard of that? Where
I don't know.
We have this thing called in Quebec called the language police, where they go up to like restaurants, they tell them your menu and just the name of your restaurant is not in French. You need to change it, and they make them change the law, or they get shut down.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You never heard of that? Like this, it wasn't happening. This has been happening for quite a few years now, actually.
Okay, but like name as in French. I mean, there are a lot of restaurant names that aren't in French.
Yeah, but I think they need to have like a specific reason to take it down or something. Like your name could be easily translated to French. Like, why is it in English, for example? Like things like that.
Oh, okay. Like your restaurant's called the best potato.
Yeah, like something like that. It's la meilleure patate.
La meilleure patate, in French.
So yeah, they go after people for...
Okay, unless it's like a unique like name where there's no like French like like I don't know what example.
Like
like Subway.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like an American sandwich chain.
Another example that comes to mind is, let's say you have like an Arabic restaurant, but it's like the name of someone. Like they're not going to change the name.
Yeah, you can't change that. Yeah, or it's like some sort of brand, or like McDonald's stays McDonald's. Well, okay, what about Burger King?
I don't know. I guess because it's like a huge franchise already, like they can't.
Oh, okay. They're like, oh, guys, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you guys are good.
yeah, you guys
know?
are great. You guys bring a lot of money, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much Burger King really makes here, but sure.
Yeah, they're not that huge, but I've never seen Burger King as, you know, Le Roi Burger or
Right, yeah.
Sounds cringe. I mean,
Or Wendy's.
yeah, well, like that. You know, you can't really translate that to French.
That shit's nasty.
That's just nasty. I like their chili. It's,
Really?
or you don't like it.
I was traumatized by Wendy's when I went to the US. I ordered a burger. There was like half an inch thick of oil at the bottom of my burger.
Yeah. They like it fat.
Anyways, yeah, so back to this.
Okay.
Or more. There is also a provision granting language inspectors the power to engage in search and seizure operations without a warrant. It would also require all court filings by businesses to be in French or translated.
Instead of, did he try to say historical, but he said hysterical?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell what he said. What did he try to say?
Yeah, I think he said
historical promise, but he said hysterical.
Historical. Yeah, his
like an old,
pronunciation.
yeah, like he tried
really,
to say like an old promise that, you know, we're gonna try to
that
stick
we're gonna
to
protect.
Yeah. He
But
said
it sounded
hysterical.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he needs to attend more English classes.
or translated into French and empower the Minister of Justice and the minister responsible for the French language to decide which provincial court judges need to be bilingual. It calls for amending pieces of legislation, including Quebec's Charter of French Language, the Code of Civil Procedure, the Consumer Protection Act, and Montreal's City Charter. The bill would proactively invoke the notwithstanding clause of the Canadian Constitution to protect it from the Charter challenges. In Montreal, Felicia Adam, City News.
We know that some of the people are worried. We are committed to protecting your access to healthcare in English. It's a historical promise that we
And thus,
will
what
keep.
is that?
And
Yeah, it's like, what is he implying here?
okay,
Like, is he saying we're gonna be independent or?
Yeah, see, I didn't understand that statement at all. Isn't his party not like an independent party? Is that what they want, or they don't want that?
Well, I don't know if that's part of like their, you know.
No, they're not like
goals.
a separatist
part. Yeah, but he was saying like, you know, a lot of Anglophones are against Quebec becoming independent.
But isn't he also? That's what I don't get. It makes no sense because his party is not a party that preaches the independence of Quebec.
Yeah, I know. But the way he formulated that, he was saying, you know, Anglophones are against the, you know, the independence, but you have to understand that, you know, like we have to do this, guys. Like we need to protect, like, or else.
Or else what?
Yeah, it's like
what's
you have some other agenda here. You're like hiding from us.
What's gonna happen if?
Yeah, it's like or else what? Yeah, that's the thing.
Like or else people speak English and French. Okay, and like what's the actual repercussion?
We're gonna, you know, separate.
It doesn't make any
Which
sense.
I don't think, would happen anytime soon.
keep. And you will continue to have English-speaking hospitals, schools, CEGEPs, and universities. We are also proud to be a Francophone nation in North America, and it's our duty to protect our common language. And I invite all Quebecers to speak it, to love it, and to protect it. I know that a vast majority of Anglophones are against the independence of Quebec.
Okay, but I mean, the whole thing with the school caps, right? Like the English schools being capped at a certain percent.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, okay, so you're scared, right? You're scared that people are going to choose English over French.
I saw earlier in the video there was an interesting sign. Like I think there was a protest in front of a school. It said, "My education, my choice." You know,
Well,
like
yeah.
it is like.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of
It's like,
infringing
why
on
do you have to tell people
in what
you know,
how they want to
where,
educate themselves?
how and like, in which way they have to be educated?
Yeah, and you know, if maybe you did promote the French language, that maybe people would want to learn it, right? Not force it. Anything you force people to do, they're going to do the opposite.
Here's what I find kind of funny. I feel like the government makes us like care about things that a lot of people don't really care about. Like, I feel like most people don't care what you speak, don't care if you speak French or English. Like, have you ever walked in the street and someone told you like to speak French? Like, that's never happened.
No, nobody gives a...
No one gives a damn.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, except like some,
Yeah,
Karens.
Yeah, there's some exceptions,
French
but
Karens.
why? Like,
I
the
know.
only instance that ever happened was what I was talking about.
Yeah,
earlier.
like in a school place, usually it's that. But
Like the school I went to was a private school, and it was an old private school that, primarily it was the French culture that was there. It was like very religious and shit like that. So yeah, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it was not really acceptable in my opinion.
okay.
I hope they hear this. I hope my school is listening.
Imagine your teachers watching.
Yeah. I had sorry, I'm just going off again, but I had a teacher once. We walked into class,
Yeah.
and I was speaking English with one of my friends, and he knew that we were Anglophones, so like, he kind of wanted to push our buttons a little bit. So we walk into class behind him,
Yeah.
and then he sees something written in English on the board, and he's like, ew, in English, and he erases it.
Yeah, what kind of remark is that?
Like, what
kind of mean.
whatever.
Ew. What the hell, bro? But
little children, man. Like,
yeah, so yeah, some of them can be pretty mature with that.
it's like when the kids are more mature than the freaking teachers. That's kind of what it felt like.
A lot of times that's true, yeah. But yeah, like concerning this whole cap thing, like if you're that scared, then something's wrong, with the way you're promoting the French language and culture. If you promoted it the correct way and made it fun to learn and motivated people to do so, then people, a lot of people would choose to learn in French. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why are people wanting to go more to English school. Okay, because it's an international language, or because it
Opens more doors.
Yeah, or maybe
perhaps.
it's a lot of newcomers in Quebec that only speak English, thus they want to go in English schools. I don't know, but I find there are better ways of making people speak French.
Yeah, and I realize how powerful English is in that sense, because like just at work today, for example, I go into a meeting, everyone's speaking French, like 99% of people speak French, and then there's one person that speaks English.
Everyone has to speak.
We changed the whole language to English
to accommodate that
accommodate that one person.
Yeah,
so I guess this is what the government is fearing,
It's like that one person polluted the whole
crazy.
meeting, and now, but anyways, let's try to finish this here.
People are really preoccupied, whether it's regarding healthcare, whether it's regarding the CEGEP and the fact that people cannot enroll as much as they could. Whether
so she's
it's
from the
regarding
Liberal Party,
the notwithstanding clause, and I think they're realizing that the party standing out there and saying no to Bill 96 is the Liberal Party, and I think I'm pretty confident that people will realize that. There is an election coming up on October 3rd. That's one way of voicing
Thank
what
God.
type of Quebec do you want. Do we want a Quebec where, yes, we can protect and promote French and do this in an inclusive way where everybody feels respected, regarding of the language you speak at your house? There is a way, and it's a liberal way to approach this.
Low key, like promoting your own party by saying that.
The liberal way.
A liberal way
That's
to do that.
the only way. But yeah. As she said, the elections are coming this year, and with the past stuff that's happened with the pandemic and all that, not a lot of people were happy with some of the decisions our prime minister made. But anyways,
we'll keep that aside, but-
people will voice, with their votes,
Yeah.
what they want.
I guess, yeah, political choices is just, it's a personal thing, and whatever you think about our current PM, that's your decision. But yeah, there are definitely things that I didn't agree with, and a lot of people didn't agree with, and there were a lot of protests, a lot of violence. Like, I find Quebec has changed so much as a province in the last, 2-3 years.
Yeah. I mean, the pandemic has definitely, changed us in a lot of ways. I mean, everywhere. It's been a lot of changes of what's happened in the past, but
Yeah. It's just, I feel like the
it's a lot of
population,
control, a lot of these
micromanaging.
overreaching measures.
Yeah, I just feel like the population itself is just kind of frustrated, and there was a lot of angst and anger, but we couldn't do anything about it. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
Like you go to
We're
other
held
places. For example, you just compare next door to us, like Ontario, they had the whole trucker situation, whatever you think about that situation, like that's again a personal thing. But at the same time, at least they were able to voice what they felt. Like here in Quebec, nothing happened. Like, you know.
Oh, okay, you wanted more protests to happen.
No, I don't want more protests. I'm just saying, like, I feel like a lot of people are angry and they didn't really get to express what they actually felt. It was always like lockdown, curfew, and then, you know, like what happened to like democracy and what everyone else thinks, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just a lot of control after control, and now this of like, oh, you can't say this.
It's weird because you would think after all that controlling stuff that they put us through,
it'd be like,
maybe they leave us
this.
alone, and now right after they adopted this bill, like it's pretty crazy.
They said they've been working on it for a year already, since last year April.
Yeah, so clearly COVID wasn't the only thing on their minds.
Oh yeah,
there was the other pandemic going on.
The other pandemic,
the Anglophone pandemic.
These Anglophones, we gotta find a way to vaccinate against them. Vaccinate.
Put masks on them or some shit.
You know how people should protest? They should go out and be like, "Kill Bill 96."
Oh yeah, that's a good meme.
Yeah, actually, I gotta give credit where credit is due, because I saw like a video from Jordan Peterson, actually, because he was talking about another bill, but at the federal level.
Okay.
I think it was 97, maybe Bill 97 or something. I think if it is, it's like one number up.
Yeah.
But anyways, like his video title was called "Kill Bill
97,
97 or whatever it was, and I thought that was pretty clever. You don't want to.
I
it references to this Quentin Tarantino movie called Kill Bill. Kill this bill.
All right.
Anyways,
let's move on.
Let's try to react to another quick video here.
Okay, so now we're going to be reacting to some protests that went on in Montreal, I presume.
Yeah, I think it must be in Montreal. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in Quebec, protesting against the adoption of this bill.
Yeah, like you were mentioning how people haven't been able to express their anger.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I guess there's a video here of them doing that exactly.
Oh yeah, Montreal.
It sparked anger, protests, and fear. Quebec's new French language protection law has divided the province.
Bill 96 is stirring up old tensions and old quarrels.
It's going to be a hassle.
Stéphane Dupré runs a small furniture manufacturing company in Montreal. He understands the need to protect French, but feels the new law is bad for business.
It's going to directly affect our operations.
Bill 96 brings in new requirements for small businesses to prove they are functioning in French. Large companies already need to do this, but now smaller enterprises dealing with worker shortages and rising costs will need to shift their focus to adherence. That means pages of paperwork, hiring consultants, making sure all computer software is in French. Employees
that's a good one there.
That was the issue, right? So relating to the workplaces, right?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about the software being exclusively in French.
Ugh, that's okay.
That's one of the worst.
Well, yeah, that's the thing I'm not sure about though, because I think if the software is like primarily in English, I don't think they need to change that. But I think if
there's like a French localization,
then it would, like, let's say like the Office programs like Word, Excel, whatever, or your Windows, like the operating system. But let alone that, they need to ask now their employees. Like let's say this manufacturing plant here, I guess, has a lot of like immigrant workers or people who kind of know a few words but just do their work. Oh no, you got to speak in French.
Yeah, it's hard on people, especially that in Quebec we have a lot of immigrants, a lot of people coming from all over the world, and then they come here and they have to learn French, but they had already learned English in their country. Why can't they just continue speaking English if some of us already speak English?
Yeah, and just, I guess, find other ways to promote the language and make it fun to learn, right? I don't know.
Just make it so that you're learning like a new skill and not just shove it down our throats.
Yeah, as you go along, kind of like make you want to learn instead of no, you have to speak.
Yeah, because learning a new language is good and it's for your own development too.
Yeah,
it's not just because
someone told you.
Right, exactly. Not just because everyone else speaks French, you have to do the same. It's because it should help with your own development,
your own growth, and you feel compelled to do so. not forced. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Generally, like whenever you're forced to do something, people are not going to listen, or
That's the
people are not
thing.
going to want to do it.
I think that's at the core of it. That I don't think most people are against like learning. Yeah, there are some people who are exclusively Anglophone. They're like F French.
Yeah,
like,
but
I don't want-
see, that's the problem. But in the other direction, like if you're exclusively Anglophone and you refuse to learn French, that's just makes you like equally the bad guy here.
Yeah, it's almost like the opposite of like only French people. You know.
Yeah. You
where
should be
it's
open to learn.
the other language too. Yeah.
You know what we preach on the show quite often? Say the
The
word.
balance.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. It's like one or the other side just can't seem to understand that.
Be problems with orders.
Some estimate dozens of hours and millions of dollars lost at businesses across the province.
It is the worst thing to do to increase the red tape for small and medium-sized business in Quebec.
Legal experts say thanks to the notwithstanding clause, the government will be able to seize documents without a warrant to make sure companies are working in French.
The normal basis
That's
for
pretty
challenging
messed
unreasonable.
up.
Wait, they didn't catch that. They said
They said they'll be able to seize documents without a warrant to prove that they are in French or not in French.
Oh, okay. They will come and like see if your documents are like an audit without any warning, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
That's messed up.
Yeah, like they just show kind of like the
Kinda
language
like the
police.
language police, same thing.
Like
They show up.
knock, you know.
You get audited without even,
Jeez.
expecting to be audited.
Yeah, so it keeps people more on the edge and on their toes.
Yeah.
Are being pushed aside.
Healthcare professionals also have deep concerns for patients not comfortable in French.
What it says is that it will be forbidden for public service employees to use languages other than French.
Longtime Anglophone residents
She
will
looks like
retain
she saw
the
a
right to be
ghost.
cared for in their...
She looked traumatized by this.
Bill 96. I've seen it. I've seen it in its full form.
Yeah.
mother tongue, but recent immigrants will only have 6 months before needing to deal with the state in French.
This will create problems, possible medical errors.
Will Bill 96...
The government went on the offensive in recent days to allay fears.
What people are entitled to have is to have their health services in their own language.
But it didn't help.
Unless we see it in writing that the profession of healthcare will be exempt from the restrictions and the punitive measures that are indicated in this bill, we are not satisfied.
With its majority government, Quebec will be able to pass the bill before the spring National Assembly session ends. The hope is that it isn't applied the way many fear it will be. Dan Spector, Global News.
Yeah, so a couple of things there where in the healthcare sector, they were saying, like the doctors and whatever need to speak in French only. But some people are asking the government to have it exempt, to say that, no, if the patient wants to speak in English or maybe their own native language and the doctor can, then we should be able to do so, but they want it in writing. Not them saying, oh, we promise, that, it'll be fine. And then the other thing, I don't know if you heard, is about newcomers, like immigrants. And they said they have 6 months to learn French because afterwards their services will be only in French.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But even that, it's sort of like...
Man, 6 months to learn a language? Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, really? That's
what kind of
not long.
expectations do they have?
Like,
of,
what
people?
the fuck? It's weird.
Yeah, but you're just pushing off more people from not wanting to stay or to come
you don't even learn a full language when you're young that fast. It's like
let alone as an adult.
Yeah, your brain is like freaking like plastic. Like freaking when you're young, you learn so fast, and then like they expect like adults to learn a language like in the
Which
blink
they
of an
don't have
eye.
that same capacity to do so. So that I definitely find ridiculous. Where it's like, okay, after 6 months, am I in trouble now?
Yeah, like what happens? Like how do you judge if you know French adequately enough or not? Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do they make them do like exams?
Well, I imagine. I mean,
some type of exam, I guess.
I guess, yeah, for sure. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things to debate on this new bill, and I don't know if they're gonna make some, corrections and add stuff, remove stuff. But
probably add stuff.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, according to the, Parti Québécois, which is very much about Quebec, it needs to go even further than this,
Yeah.
French just needs to be the only language.
It's not Parti Québécois that's putting this into place. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Yeah,
it's like the CAQ, like Coalition Action Québec, I think.
Coalition Avenir Québec,
Avenir,
I think.
yeah.
Which means like Quebec coalition future
For the future.
for the future, yeah, something like that.
So yeah, the Parti Québécois was another party that is advocating this bill.
Yeah.
And
But they want to be even more
Right.
hardcore with it. But that's the thing. Like, let's say if we told them, okay, guys, you can do whatever you want with the French. What would you want? You know, what's the most extreme they would bring this? Like, if there was no resistance, if people are like, yeah, let's go with the French. You know, would they say French everywhere and no English?
this might be a stupid question, but like, does this type of issue happen in other places? Let us know in the comments if you guys have any type of, you know, conflict going on that resembles this in the sort, or
Kind of like cultural and
Yeah.
I
'Cause
mean,
I've never heard about this anywhere else.
yeah, it's more unique, I guess, to countries or states that are bilingual or multilingual. If we have audience members from like the states who, you know, it's mostly monolingual, right? It's it's English everywhere. You know, yeah, obviously different people speak different languages, but the main language is English. But there aren't a lot of places like Quebec where it's kind of like a battle between two official languages. But I know there are a lot of, you know, other countries. I know like African countries or some Asian countries where there's like multiple official languages.
Yeah.
I've heard
Is
like
that a problem? It's not.
I mean, yeah, I haven't really heard any stories or news about it. Yeah, it's not really. Like, I just
not.
find, like, other places, there's like, okay, we have different people speaking different languages and kind of accept
Yeah.
everyone. And there's no, like, authority saying, no, this has to be the one.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right.
But,
so yeah, now we're going to look at some of the sections of what the bill entails. So, you know, different parts of this of society. So education, healthcare.
Yeah, like, you know, go through this kind of article to see if, you know, maybe there are some other stuff that wasn't mentioned in the videos. So yeah, regarding the education, the law caps how many English students can go into English.
So yeah, like they said
CJEPs.
earlier, 17% of the overall student population in Quebec cannot be enrolled in English schools.
Yeah, so like basically more than 80% needs to be in French.
Sorry, not
Is
English
that-
schools, English CJEPs, so college. Okay,
Wait,
so once
so-
you are in the CJEP, yeah, there are new requirements that the bill is installing. So
Yeah, they have to take at least
more-
3
more classes that we saw
courses
already.
in French. We saw that.
If you're studying in health sciences, 3 of your health science courses has to be in French. Wow, okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy because I did that program.
You did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And was it in English all?
Yeah, everything was English.
So if you were
if I was
now-
I was there now, I'd have to do some of them in French. I have no problem with that. Like I studied in French like for most of my life, but you know, I chose to study in English afterwards.
Yeah, like I find that when you're like already specializing in something, it's like you have to kind of pick.
Yeah, it's like I'm already struggling with these difficult courses like biology, freaking physics.
now I have to learn it twice.
And now I have to, you know, think back and like think, oh shit, now I have to write in French. So it adds like a difficulty for people.
Yeah, it's like another level of difficulty. Like I get it, elementary, high school. You know, you're just doing science class, math class, kind of like basic. That kind of applies to all.
Hold on, I have another point.
Yeah.
Imagine, okay, let me just show you a regular progression. So let's say you have calculus 1, okay? Then there's calculus 2. Imagine you learn calculus 1 in English and then you take calculus 2 in French.
You're gonna like fail.
What the hell? Like calculus 2 was a terrible class. It was super hard. Can you imagine having to switch languages afterwards?
Yeah, it'd be very hard.
It's hard. Like,
because
it
you
doesn't
learn the
make sense.
terms
It's not
in
a
one
good
language.
progression. Yeah, you learn all the terminologies, all the technical stuff in one language. How are you gonna just
You have to flip flop.
right? How are you just gonna switch like right away to another language? It's kind of weird.
I find that having these kind of mixes between the English and French is gonna affect performance.
Yeah. Yeah,
Definitely.
agreed.
Like they should track this and see how, you know, the students are performing.
Yeah,
Because,
that'd be a good metric for sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good metric. You know, oh, okay, yeah, your students are learning French, but they're failing their classes because they can't keep up with like the change of language.
That would be a good argument against this, to be honest. That's a good point.
Yeah, I would say so. So don't think they thought that through.
However, those with English eligibility are exempt from taking the exam. Okay, so yeah, they're saying that there's an exam you need to take at the end of your CJEP degree, which is college here.
Yeah, but here, look at this one. The new law says that a student who does not have the speaking and writing knowledge of French required by the government can't get a diploma.
Wow, that's really crazy.
So it's like, you know, if you don't have that level of French they
so
want.
for missing doctors, and he doesn't speak French, and there's a student's about to graduate, but he doesn't speak French, don't give him his diploma.
Yeah. It's like, we don't need to give the healthcare. We need him to speak French first before he helps.
It's absurd.
And we are lacking a lot of healthcare professionals.
That's a big problem here in Quebec. Like the healthcare system is really understaffed and missing a lot of doctors, nurses. It's crazy.
This is even, more of a hurdle now. Okay, so first they have the hurdle of learning the course in 2 languages, right? You're like specializing, like let's say a doctor, got to learn freaking English and French. And then it's like, to get your diploma to go work, you have to pass a certain level of French. So it's like, the whole workforce is getting like cut down because people can't,
Yeah, and already like these diplomas are so hard to get in of itself. Like I studied engineering. I can't imagine if now they would start throwing in, all right, this class is going to take an Italian, this class is going to speak Mandarin, this class is going to speak English. Like, come on, man.
It's like, where does it end? Yeah. That's why it's like, it needs to be a choice. It's like, you need to choose and kind of, it's like, okay, they should say everyone should only go in learning the French language, as in you should take courses that are about like French history and whatnot, Imagine they forced you like, this is the class that you need to take.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Regarding healthcare now, so use the French language, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're saying it holds an exception where another language can be used, but that's what people are like saying that's a problem. It needs to be written. We need like proof that there's an exception, not wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you can make an exception of like using another language other than French, but it can't be systematic, as in it can't always just be that.
Yeah. Kind of like you were saying earlier.
So it's like, imagine, a patient comes in, the doctor has like a camera out there. He's like, oui, bonjour, and it's like, yeah, let's go in my room there. It's like, yeah, okay, man,
puts on the rubber gloves, starts speaking English.
He's like, just tell me quick, I got 2 minutes, they're gonna come now. I got a sore throat, doctor. Okay, just take this pill and get the fuck out. Oh, jeez. It's like gonna create like more secretive, like
it's funny because I just how like the prostate exam is always like a meme, kind of like the doctor with the rubber gloves, and instead of the prostate exam, just start speaking English instead of
it's like, all right, tell me what you got. We got 2 minutes now. And then you see the doctor and like, the assistant and the secretary in French, like, you got a new patient coming. Damn, you're gonna catch me.
We're making light of the situation, but it's still crazy and messed up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're just thinking of some of these ridiculous situations that could entail.
I mean, who knows?
So they're saying everybody who wants to receive health services in English can receive it. If you're English-speaking whoever, a recent immigrant or tourist, you can receive it. It was like that before, it's like that now, and will be like that in the future. Okay,
so now they're saying you can, which is interesting.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like kind of, is it not?
Okay, so I think what this means is, I think the first language they will speak to you is French. But if you request it to be served,
like if you need
in
this
English, it'll be offered to you. I think that's how this is supposed to be interpreted.
Yeah, it could be. But again, I think people find it that it's not clear.
Yeah.
It's because at first they're saying, you can make an exception to speak, other languages, but it can't be systematic.
And now they say it's fine.
It's fine.
You could ask it in English.
So I don't know. It could be interpreted in many ways.
It's a little contradicting there.
Yeah, you see here, Robert Lakey, Dean of McGill University. It's unclear when the healthcare system will be allowed to apply the exemption.
Okay, yeah, so
if
most people are confused about this shit.
If the dean of a university thinks it's unclear, then yeah.
I feel less dumb now. Someone else was just as confused as us.
I mean, okay. Apparently, Bill 96 infringes on a federal Health Canada Act. Okay. Wow. Which guarantees access to care, but it is unclear if it will come to that point in practice. Okay.
Yeah, because probably the federal, the Canada Health Act probably says every person has the right to receive health care services, no matter the language, whatever. And now this one's saying you should be only served in French, so it kind of contradicts something at the federal level.
Yeah, which I guess could be a point of contention and problem, but because it makes sense. Healthcare, it's like such a basic right, in most of Western countries, at least. You're saying, we can't help you because you got to be in French. Like, bro,
Isn't that part of like the Constitution, just to be able to express yourself in your own way and freedom of speech and whatever?
They say that.
I know it's like one of the most basic things like you learn.
Anyways.
Yet it's being taken down.
Yeah, and then the last section here about the court and justice. So yeah,
Yeah,
like
we
the
kind of
health-
touched on this a bit earlier.
So the level of
Oh,
language
wow.
of-
Did you read that one? The law outlines that judges will no longer need to have a specific level of knowledge of a language other than the official one.
Yeah, so I just know French.
So it's like,
that's
if
it.
you just know French, you're good. If you know just English, you're not good.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, that's freaking messed up.
I don't know what to think about that.
It's almost like they're discouraging you to learn more than one language. It's freaking weird.
Yeah, it's like low key. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. Would Quebec complain if everyone just spoke French and people just learned French and didn't know another language? Would they really complain?
Probably not.
That's the thing. It's like, what is your goal? Like protecting just one language or being inclusive of many languages?
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
that's the whole point here. Oh, look, it's mentioning Italian. So, for example, if a government worker was helping an immigrant whose first language is Italian, even if the worker also spoke Italian, the worker would still be obligated to only use French.
Now I feel offended.
Oh, no, yeah.
Cazzo.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
creates
Pretty much went over
a lot of hurdles for a lot of different groups of people, and I find the legislation is not very fleshed out, and there are some question marks.
Yeah, definitely.
So to kind of close off, what are your thoughts? Is there a better way to go about this?
Are you asking me or asking the audience?
No, you, yeah.
Okay. Is there a better way to go about this? Yeah, 100%. I think we were doing just fine without this, to be honest. And I think we should have just continued doing what we were doing, have an open mind towards different cultures. Quebec is known for that. And by putting this this bill in place, we're removing that aspect from Quebec and being known for an inclusive province that has different cultures and people from around the world. So there is definitely a better way to go about this. And I think it's just having a better open mind towards other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Other cultures.
That's what's great about, Quebec is that it is very, multicultural and multilingual. Yeah, is there a better way to go about this? I just think, like I said many times, is to try to promote the French language and make it fun to learn, have places where people can go and want to learn French instead of forcing it. Anytime you force something, people are going to be against it.
Yeah. Either way, the French language is just an interface.
Just like any other language, it's just it's not some unique divine thing.
Yeah, but as dumb as that sounds, it's kind of true though. Like, what is a language?
Well, communication too.
It's just a way to express what we have in our heads.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So what's the big fuss?
What's the big fuss?
My point.
What? So are you saying like if everyone on Earth, let's say, spoke English, you wouldn't mind that, or?
Well, not really. Like, let's say, for example, you adopted your own language to say do whatever you want to do in life. Would I be opposed to what you're doing? No, it's because that's your way of expressing your own thoughts in your head. Like, let's say you invented your own freaking language. Like, it makes no damn sense to me. Like, would I tell you you're not allowed to do that? No, like, who cares?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they've gone that far to say, like, what you can speak in your house.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it in your house. I'm just saying in general. Like,
yeah, but, like, if I went in the freaking healthcare place and said, and said, please serve me in that language, I think that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous, but at the same time, like, it's your right to do what you want to do, Like, you're not causing any harm by doing that.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, but obviously there needs to be some sort of consensus between people of like what kind
there
of
needs
languages,
to be there needs to be like a foundation, I guess. But
like,
I'm trying to make it deeper than what it is probably. But like, I just think I don't know. It's crazy because it is just a tool at the end of the day, and we're making such a big deal out of something that isn't that important in my opinion.
Anyway.
I mean, it is important right now because they're printing a freaking bill that's going to, prevent people from speaking their own language they want in certain contexts. So it is important because it's at the forefront of something. But at the end of the day, if this bill wasn't in place, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we wouldn't be talking about, hey, how come you spoke French yesterday? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Give us a React video though.
It did give us a React video.
Yeah, so anyways, like I said, there's better ways to promote the language, and stop forcing it on people, and kind of accept that people speak different languages, and the main languages, let it be the English and French. Why can't they just coexist in peace? And I don't know. It's like we've been doing it fine for all these years.
That's what I mean.
Like,
it was fine.
What's the problem? Like,
well, it was fine relatively. Like there was another bill, Bill 101, similar to this one. We were fine, but we were kind of like, you know that meme, like you're in the fire and I'm fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, we were that's how we were, kind of thing.
Yeah, we're sort of existing still.
Yeah,
like I'm just saying that it works. Like we were able to use both languages. Yeah, businesses served you in both French and English, and depending on what you wanted, and it can keep going like that. And yeah, government places, obviously, the French will be like kind of priority, but English is still there. Anyway, so I think we'll leave it to that, and maybe ask you guys what your thoughts are. If you are from Quebec, then that could be cool to hear. If not, if you're an outsider and you find this kind of debate that we're having here strange, then what do you think about this? We'd like to hear, thoughts from outside of Quebec, Canada.
Be interesting.
But anyway, so thank you guys for watching this React video. This is only released on YouTube, by the way. This is only on YouTube platform, just video. We do have a podcast as well that we do, and we try to release episodes, kind of weekly if we can, on other streaming platforms. You can watch that too if you're interested. And yeah, I guess that wraps it up, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Yep. Catch you guys on the next React.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.